Ego itself is nothing but a hallucination built from memory, identity, and past experiences. What you call I is mostly accumulated residue. Memory, comparison, psychological scars, achievements, humiliations, images, opinions, stories. A child is not born saying, I'm successful, I am a failure, I am attractive, I am intelligent, I am spiritual, I am behind in life. These are installed later. Slowly, the mind gathers fragments and stitches them together into a fictional center called me. That center feels solid, but it is assembled. You remember being rejected once. Now you become someone who fears rejection. You remember praise. Now you become someone who needs admiration. You remember pain. Now you become someone who must protect himself. Memory becomes identity, and identity becomes present. The hallucination is not that experiences happened, but the hallucination is you are the experiences. You are not the heartbreak, not the success, not the humiliation, not the story, not the image you maintain in people's minds. But the mind continuously says, this happened to me, therefore this is me. That is ego. Ego is continuity. It is the mind trying to maintain a psychological character across time. It says, I was this, I should become that, I must protect this image, I cannot lose what I built. See that burden? Now life is no longer being lived directly. Everything becomes filtered through what does this mean about me? Someone ignores you, ego suffers. Someone succeeds, ego compares. Someone criticizes, ego defends. Someone leaves, ego collapses. Why? Because the hallucinated identity feels threatened. A hallucination must constantly be maintained. Truth does not. That is why ego is exhausting. It requires endless mental narration. My future, my importance, my position, my growth, my value. The mind becomes a public relations agency for an imaginary self. And the deeper thing most people never see, ego is not confidence. The person constantly thinking about himself, whether positively or negatively, is deeply trapped. Even self-hatred is ego. Because attention is still revolving around me. The saint and the narcissist can both be obsessed with themselves. One says, I am superior. The other says, I am terrible. But both are imprisoned by self-concern. Freedom begins when psychological self-reference weakens. Then there is seeing without the constant interpreter, walking without narrative, working without self-image, speaking without performance, learning without identity, living without continuously consulting, what does this mean about me? Then action becomes clean, not neurotic, not strategic, not self-protective, just direct. Most humans never experience this. They experience life through accumulated memory, pretending to be a person. Imagine a king who spent his entire life protecting a castle that did not exist. Every morning he woke in panic. Are the walls secure? Will enemies attack? Do people still respect the throne? Am I still powerful? He sharpened swords, expanded defenses, built towers, collected gold, watched the horizon endlessly, and everyone around him agreed the castle was real. They praised its beauty, feared its strength, envied its size. But one day, an old man arrived and asked, where is the castle? The king laughed. Are you blind? I have protected it my entire life. The old man said quietly, no, I see only open sky. The king became furious because the king had never actually looked. He had only inherited descriptions, maps, stories, opinions, memories. As a child, someone told him, this is your kingdom. And from that moment onward, his entire life became maintenance. Every insult was an attack on the castle. Every compliment reinforced it. Every failure cracked its walls. Every success decorated its halls. But no one asked the obvious question, was there ever a castle at all? That castle is ego. Not a real thing, a psychological construction. Brick by brick, it was built from memory. One humiliation, a wall. One achievement, a tower. One heartbreak, a hidden chamber. One comparison, another gate. Years pass. Soon the structure feels ancient and important. You say, this is who I am. But what are you really pointing to? Memories? Reactions? Conditioning? Experiences collected over time? Look closely. The self you defend every day is mostly narration, a voice repeating, my life, my pain, my importance, my future, my image. Like a man carrying around an autobiography and mistaking it for himself. And the tragedy is not merely that the castle is imaginary, the tragedy is how much suffering goes into protecting it. People destroy relationships for it, lie for it, compete for it, exhaust themselves for it, spend decades trying to renovate a phantom. Even spirituality becomes decoration for the castle. I am becoming enlightened, I am healing, I am evolving, still the same king, still protecting walls made of thought. And occasionally, life creates small cracks, silence, nature, love, shock, deep attention. For one brief second, the king forgets himself, and in that instant, there is no castle, only wind, only sky, only life happening without psychological ownership. Then the mind rushes back in terror. No, no, return to being someone. Because without the castle, the ego feels like death, but it is not death. It is the end of hallucination, the end of carrying an imaginary kingdom through every moment of existence. And what remains afterward is strangely simple: a man walking, a bird singing, rain falling, breath moving. Life without a heavy narrator standing in the center claiming, this is happening to me. Listen, the deepest prison is not the world, it is the unconscious belief that you are the psychological character created by thought. A name, a history, a wound, a success story, a self image. And so life becomes a constant effort to defend, improve, heal, prove, and preserve that character. But the moment you begin to see that the me is largely memory in motion, something strange happens. There is space. The burden lightens. Because now you no longer have to carry an imaginary version of yourself through every conversation, every ambition, every failure, every relationship. You begin to see the ego was never a thing, only a process of thinking, a story repeatedly told until it felt solid. And truth does not acquire maintenance. The sky does not wake up defending its blueness. The ocean does not rehearse being deep. A tree does not compare itself to another tree. Only the human mind lives inside psychological narration. So the end is not becoming a better ego. The end is seeing through the illusion completely. And when that illusion weakens, life becomes immediate again. Not interpreted, not filtered, not personalized. Just this moment before thought turns it into my life.